Yo. Oh, I'm looking pale. Forgot to turn on my orange light. Still looking pale. Maybe it's just me. All right. Anyway, how's everybody doing? See, I got Twitter up. Got a lot to go over today. Uh, I guess I'm gonna keep the music off of this part of the stream. Cause why? But a lot to go over today. I learned a lot of stuff recently, very recently, today even. Um, there was some exciting news that happened about whoop fuck. I just knocked something on my desk. Don't worry about it. Um there was some exciting things that happened on apparently April 8th. SCG Dallas. Those lists went up at some point. I never checked them. But what brought us to them, we're gonna step you through it one at a time. Were the results from this weekend, the Sunday challenge. If you have been really paying attention to your screen, Sunday challenge, we saw Goblins make the top 8. It's the first modern challenge top 8 in a really long time for Goblins, like about 2 years. So all this talk about it's really well positioned right now. It wasn't just us talking out of our butts. Well, it was us talking out of our butts, but this time we were right. Yeah, it must have been a fluke. How's it going, Mr. Bodingles? Thank you for being the first one here. So everybody was like, what the hell's going on? This Goblins list. Is it anybody in the Discord? You should join the Goblins Discord if you haven't. It was none of us. So I found him. I talked to him online. I asked him some questions about his list. This is Raging Machismo, was the Goblins player who top 8'd the challenge. Congrats to Raging Machismo if you're watching this. And this is their list. Although with a name like Raging Machismo, I'm assuming his is okay, so we're gonna go with his. This is his list. The notables, and I talked to him about it, so I can summarize his thoughts on this list in particular. He said he looked up some lists, and they're basically all the same. Newsflash, that's what we've all been saying, with a couple differences. And this is the one he went with, and it looks really weird if you've been watching this channel enough. It is basically the same. He's playing 3 Boggart Harbinger, which is a nod to an expected grindier meta with lots of blue-red Murktide and removal-heavy decks. They're playing Goblin Chieftain instead of Battlecry Goblin like we do. But also they're playing black-red and not Jund, but they're playing 2 Mog Fanatics instead of 3. And then you keep scrolling your eyes down this list to find out what they're playing instead of the 3rd Mog Fanatic. And lo and behold, it is a main deck copy of Sting Scourger. And you're like, what the hell? That's not a good card. Why are they doing that? Well, I spoke to him. It's for blue-red Murktide. Now, the 3rd Mog Fanatic is also basically for Ragavan and blue-red Murktide. So it's really not a different assessment of the meta. This is basically all pre-boarded for blue-red Murktide decks. Which I suppose is what he expected to see. And he was right. I'll go over what matchups they faced in a second. We'll just look at the sideboard real quick. 3 Chalice, 3 Fury, 3 Leyline, 4 Mages of the Moon, and then little the sweet center of this sideboard cookie is 1 Goblin Cratermaker, 1 Goblin Trashmaster. So you'll notice on Bamzing's post saying who made the top 8, not easy to get in contact with Raging Machismo other than Magic Online. So I sought him out on Magic Online, asked him some questions about the deck. I'm not going to pull up his chat here because I have it posted somewhere else. It's in the Goblins Discord, just for reference. So I asked him what matchups he ended up playing. I asked him what the Sting Scourger was about. Crater Maker was pretty bad, so don't pay any heed to the Crater Maker. I asked him what matchup he boarded the Furies in, but that got lost in the shuffle. He didn't end up answering that, but it's fine. So he played against Murktide twice, Rhinos, Living End twice, Dredge, and then Hammer Time and Yawgmoth in the top 8. Overall, great matchups that you kind of hope to see. Living End, Dredge, Hammer Time, whatever. And then Murktide is difficult, and Rhinos we call a nightmare matchup. This is one of the interesting parts. Raging Machismo was boarding in ley lines against Murktide, but didn't know if it was right, just like all of us. And then I said, I'm assuming your only loss in the Swiss was to Rhinos. And he says no, which was shocking. It was one of the Murktide players. And that Rhinos is a pretty easy matchup. Now, we've called Rhinos a nightmare matchup a lot of times on this channel, so that was shocking to pretty much everybody in the Discord and myself. And his advice for the matchup is that you should mull the Chalice for a fast combo and to tax their Brazen Borrowers, and then use your Sting Scourgers and Munitions Experts to kill the Rhinos, and then you can outdraw them. Basically, after that, it's a grindy matchup. So there's this initial flurry of cards from Rhinos that you have to kind of weather the storm. And after that, you can kind of just outcard them, and you'll be in a position to actually kill Rhinos. That's his opinion. Who knows if it really can play out like that often, but he definitely won. How's it going, Ganja? He definitely won his match on Sunday, and it got him into the top 8, into the quarters or the semis of the Modern Challenge, and he's the first to do it in like 2 years. So congrats to him. But there was more to this conversation, because, and this is what I said, we're going to step through it one at a time. I posted his deck list, and then Jay Brumbaugh, who religiously checks MTG Top 8, shout outs to Jay Brumbaugh. I think his name is Jesse. He linked this one, which I already had pulled up. You can see. And he said, it looks a lot like this list. And I said, oh shit, maybe that's him. Maybe that's Raging Machismo. Turns out it's not. So this list is from April 8th. This is just some lame Everywhere But America formatting of the date, but I don't recognize this date structure. But this is April 8th, not August 4th, and it's almost exactly the same. The difference is this sideboard, and that's it. And it made something. It made, where is it? It made what Raging Machismo said. It made what Raging Machismo said make a little more sense. I asked him where he found the list. Oh, I guess I said this afterwards. I asked him where he found, when I realized it wasn't him. He said he didn't know where he started, but what happened was he got beat while playing Blue-Red Murktide. He got beat by a Sting Scourger. And then he went and started looking up Goblins lists. And so what looks like it happened is Victor Cochran top 8'd this event in Dallas. Somebody took Victor's list, maybe Victor himself, beat Raging Machismo and Magic Online, and then the deck made its way into the top 8 after that. So it looks like Victor was the first person to be putting the Sting Scourger in the main. And if you pay close attention, which I didn't at first, there's a second Goblins player in this top 8 of the Dallas event. And their list, basically, it's like exactly like the one we've been playing. They're playing Battlecry Goblin. They're playing Battlecry Goblin over the 4th Mog War Marshal, just like us, 3 Mog Fanatics. The main deck is basically exactly the same. They take a Boggart Harbinger, and they replace it with 1 Goblin Chieftain, and they put the other Harbinger in the board. But 24 lands, all the rest of the Goblins the same, and a sideboard that looks pretty familiar, except, these Furies are what people seem to be playing, in at least in these couple paper events. And Magus is over Blood Moons. So that's basically what's been going on with Goblins. These people have just been playing. Well, that's basically what's been going on with Goblins. But the people who've had the most success have had this Sting Scourger main deck. And it's going to operate a lot like a really powered up munitions expert against Blue-Red Murktide, where you can matron it up and then play it immediately to quote unquote kill a Murktide, because it'll be pretty hard for them to cast again. So yeah, no one is playing Nobles. People are playing Nobles. But so that's actually a good point, Ganja, that you're making. And it kind of goes into what we've learned about the two different configurations. And I say learn because that's like a lot of what we do in general on this channel. We're like trying to figure out and learn what is the best. I don't pretend to know it. It seems like Ignoble is for combo metas, and these decks are specifically for grindy mid-range metas, right? And it kind of all lines up, you know, with what we expect to be doing well in different kinds of metas. And I say metas, but it's kind of, in Modern, it's kind of luck of the draw. It's like who you want to come ready to beat. And, you know, even in a quote-unquote mid-range meta, you could get paired against Amulet Titan, for example, in the top 8, right? So, pretty interesting. Also, I think both of these players, yeah, they're just on the full 4 courtyards, which we don't often do. But their sideboards are basically all creatures, so it allows you to do that. If you're not trying to cast Thoughtseize, you don't have to worry about making black and red mana. So that's like another interesting point. Probably helps your burn matchup quite a bit. Which everybody says that Dallas has a lot of burn in it. So maybe that's what's going on. So I'm not one to save. I mean, I've been not on 4 courtyards and it feels fine. Like, they're both good. We did the math the other day. It's like totally, it doesn't matter what you play at this point. You just are allowed to play 4 courtyards when you don't have anything but creatures. You know what I mean? Anyway, I don't consider myself a content creator. So I was gonna open up this video, this stream with, yes, they have the same exact, they're the same exact card, Ganja. It's just that the courtyard lets you activate Goblins' abilities with it, and that's vaguely relevant for Pashalik and for Battlecry Goblin, and that's it. So what was I saying? Oh, so another bit of news. It's not really news, but it's something we're gonna talk about before I get into like my one league. Everybody always asks for a sideboard guide. They want to know how you should sideboard. Jokers are wild. I'm just calling him Joker. Actually wrote a sideboard guide out for his current iteration of the deck. And now his current iteration does not match what's in the Modern Challenge. But we're going to look at it and we're going to compare it to... We're going to compare it. Somebody just screamed outside my window. It was a little kid. We're going to compare it to the Modern Challenge list. We're going to figure out basically what they were doing with their sideboard. If I could actually find the list. This is it. So, let's get started with that. We could highlight that, I guess, and make it a different video so people can find it. But like starting with, I guess we'll go through Joker's sideboard just to like talk about how you should be preparing when you think about sideboarding for an event. And when I say an event, anything is as large as a league event. Like, I mean, your weekly Monday Modern tournament is probably it's probably smaller than even a Magic Online league, which mine starts in 45 minutes. Maybe I should go to that instead, but I'm gonna play some leagues and stream tonight. Anyway, let's go right into it. So, notice the layout of Joker's sideboard guide. Every matchup that you expect to see. You can, if you're making one of these for yourself, you can continuously add, on the bottom as the matchup comes up, and you decide your best way. Something to note. There was something here. I think I mentioned it last week, and I could have swore I saw Joker write something like that. But sometimes when you're playing, even if you have this sideboard guide as a reference, you'll notice weird choices, not weird, but different choices that your opponents made. That basically means you have to update your sideboard guide, mid-match. So these are literally guidelines, because it is a guide and not rules. Something to keep in mind. So, notice there's only 4 different cards, and yet, 20 matchups. Your sideboard cards need to be versatile, and there's going to be a general, archetype that your sideboard cards fit into. It's very rare that there's something like Emrakul that is just for the mill matchup. You know what I mean? Like that is the exception to the rule. So, something to keep in mind. Here's our sideboard guide. 4 Thoughtseize, so here's Joker sideboard, and here is Raging Machismo sideboard. Chalices, Blood Moons, Ley Lines. Joker plays his Trash Master's main. This Crater Maker doesn't exist. And then there's 3 Fury here that are in place of the Thoughtseize, basically, right? So if we're going to figure out where these Furies come in, and we're going to learn from Joker where these Chalices come in, we're going to learn where the Maguses come in, even though Maguses might be slightly different because the Maguses might be slightly different because they are creatures rather than enchantments, but it's all going to be more or less the same. But the fact that these Thoughtseizes are not in the board actually is going to make sideboarding probably really different in general. So we know that Raging Machismo actually didn't play against 4-color Yorion. You could see here, Joker would put in 4 Thoughtseizes basically always and take out Fanatics and Trash Masters. And then on the draw, instead of the Fanatics, they take out some of the less aggressive stuff just across the curve. So you just call that trimming usually. So what would our hero Raging Machismo 6th place competitor in the challenge would have done? Probably nothing. I actually asked, and he said he kind of boards light and tries to beat them on card advantage, but it's not really a favorable matchup. That was his answer. So I would imagine maybe you find room for a couple Furies by trimming, just like Joker does here, to answer Omnaths and resolved Furies of theirs and things like that. So Hammer Time here, we're bringing in Thoughtseizes and Moons. You can imagine in Raging Machismos, it would probably be Moons and Furies, and definitely the Trash Master. The reason Joker doesn't have to include that in his sideboard guide is because his is main. Leyline, I think it's really obvious that you want in 4 Leyline. Chalices are also going to be fantastic. No Thoughtseizes here. You don't need to bring in Furies in this matchup, but you totally could. Prowess, we're bringing in the chalices. Against Prowess, I would think the Furies also come in as well. Definitely none of the other cards. So probably find room for Chalice and some number of Furies. Every time I think about sideboarding these Furies in, I'm always like, is 3 too many? So maybe 2. And what would you take out? Sting Scourger buys you time, but it's probably pretty bad. I would cut like a Harbinger, a Chieftain, probably a Ringleader or 2, a Kiki Jiki, and maybe Sting Scourger, maybe Skirk Prospector, and then bring in Furies and Chalices. But you can kind of see, like, this is the idea here. We have these cards that come in based on the archetype of the matchup and what our role in the matchup is. I'm not gonna keep going through every list. We can cover what we'll cover what Joker's plan was for Footfalls, because like I said, Reggie Machismo found Rhinos a favorable matchup. He thought it was easy, which is why he liked the deck. I don't know if that's just because he hasn't played against it a lot, or if he's seen the light and we're all just in the darkness still. But this was basically his sideboard plan as well. He said, as long as you have a Chalice and you mull towards combo to tax their Brazen Borrowers, you're going to be okay. And you can see here, that's more or less, that's exactly what Joker was doing, right? In 4 Chalice, in 4 Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is going to fight them on card advantage and slow down their combo and tax their Brazen Borrowers and things like that. And notice none of the combo pieces come out. So you're mulling towards combo and Chalice, right? So we're all on like the same page. We're all pushing forwards. So now, if let's say we don't like either of their sideboards. You saw I just said this person doesn't have 4 Thoughtseize, and I don't know if 3 Fury is right. You know what I mean? So and he said Crater Maker's bad. Raging Machismo. So what do we do other than click the wrong thing? Well, here's Raging Machismo's list. What do we want to be better against, I guess, is the question. I've got his list pulled up. We're going to play it now. Crater Maker coming out. Sting Scourger on his recommendation coming in. Just going to play another one. I don't have a 4th Magus of the Moon. What do I do? Well, I could tell you that the Blood Moon matchups are fine. 3 is enough. And then we can just add another Chalice. Or we could add another Leyline, because I don't think you're supposed to have a matchup where, or have a card that you need in your opener and not play 4 of them. I agree, Dragon Fodder. I agree. I definitely agree. I see that there was a ton of chatting going on. How's it going, Lumberjacks? I saw you follow me on like basically everything. I'm glad to see you here. I only have 1 Chalice in paper, so I'm going to be doing some adjusting when I go to Pittsburgh, or dropping like $150 on Chalices, which sucks. What can we do? Should we change anything beyond this? Yeah, I don't like Chieftain. We could do this. And then add a 4th Leyline. Which, time is a flat circle, in case you were unaware. This is, I don't know if I still have it, but Cactus's list had 4 Chalices and 4 Leylines, and I was just like, I hate being the guy that's mulling to Chalice and Leyline. But it's like pretty much just still that way. Can we pull it up just real quick to show I'm not crazy? Yeah, here's Cactus's list from way back. And we go to, he's got the sideboard guide. It's like basically the same. This list, apparently his name is Damian Ficus. I was confused for a second. I was like, who the hell is that? Sideboard, it's 3 chalices. Oh, he had 3 relics. He didn't have the ley lines. That's in this version, but I think the list I got from him in some later league had that. But we're back to a bunch of challenges. Rusty with goblins, yeah. I mean, it definitely takes some reps. I don't know if you guys read that like chat super closely when I pulled it up before, but Raging Machismo is like a long time legacy Goblins player as well. So I think the thing is that Chalice comes in more than Leyline, and I don't even want 4 Leyline in the Murktide matchup. But I probably do want it in the. I probably do want 4 Chalice in the Murktide matchup. Like, I would think that against Murktide, just all this comes in. Sting Scourger. I guess let me move it here so you can actually see it. Sting Scourger, Leyline, and Chalices, and then you just like, you could do the Joker thing and just board literally all of this out. How many cards is that? That's 5 cards. And then you could like, I guess just shave a Vial, shave a Prospector. Nah, you wouldn't shave a Prospector because it blocks Ragavan on the play, even though they probably have something to kill it. But also something to note, by the way, which I'm going to be adjusting my list going forward. Everybody who's doing well is basically playing 4 Mog War Marshals, except that other guy in the top 8 of Dallas. I'm going to try and fit a 4th one. Yeah, this looks like about what you would sideboard for Murktide. And maybe you just like take out a Sling Gang Lieutenant, or you take out... No, it's tough. Maybe you board out the Den? No, you wouldn't board out the Den. Maybe you just trim 1 Mog War Marshal. And it's a play draw thing. What do I think of terminating the board? Yeah, so that's actually how I arrived at Sting Scourger the first time. Let's just let's queue up with... I really hate the Chieftain, but we're gonna give him the respect he deserves and play his list pretty much as is tonight. Raging Machismo, that is. And we'll see how it goes. Get a couple more reps on this exact... Well, it's not exact because I changed the 1 or 2 sideboard cards, but yeah, we're talking tiny adjustments, right? 1 adjustment at his suggestion, and 1 adjustment because I don't want to buy the 4th Mages of the Moon. So yeah, this is what we're doing. Oh, Battlecry is still going to be in my deck, Lumberjacks. It is fantastic. It's way better than this Chieftain. I am just playing the actual top 8 list from the challenge this weekend. And we're going to confer... Like, every time we draw Chieftain, we're going to be comparing it to Battlecry Goblin. And I'm guaranteeing that we're going to find Battlecry Goblin to be better in just about every single scenario. And whenever we draw this Sting Scourger as opposed to a Mog Fanatic, we're going to be making the same comparison. And how does that... And it's hard to do it for the 4th Mog War Marshal, but I would be... We got to make a comparison to the 4th Harbinger as well. It's just, you're going to... I guess for knowing if the 4th Harbinger is right, you're gonna like just count the number of combo matchups you encounter. There's something to be said though for paper metas being less combo-y in general. I've heard that the Northeast is like full of combo because we're all just fast-talking, fast-playing degenerates that want to get in and out. Actually, I said I went to my first Paper Magic event in a long time. I I went 3-0. My opponent in the finals, I won. He was packed up and out the door within 2 minutes. And it was just like natural. Like he was like talking to somebody as he was leaving about how he was going to see them. Like it was just a totally casual, but he was out so fast. um, but yeah, I don't think you should expect to see as much combo in paper in general. And people mulligan a lot less in paper than they do online. So like it's harder to be like, I'm mulling down to my turn 3 combo. So there are things to keep in mind, and maybe you should build your deck for that scenario, although it's definitely not correct, but it might be correct. You know what I mean? Top 8'd a 2K? Congrats on that. This is a snap keep. I don't think I've ever top-8'd anything like worth talking about. Actually, yeah, I haven't played in that many huge events, but do I play this just in case I draw land so I can save both fetch lands for the Snoop? I guess so. Yeah, let's just play it. I got 9th on breakers at a PTQ once, which sucked. That's like the only PTQ I've ever played in. Dodge bad matchups? Yeah, I mean, that's one way to play it. But according to Raging Machismo, Rhinos is an easy matchup. What are we doing wrong? I think there's a lot to be said for perspective changes too. I used to hate playing against Tron until I saw the stats. I was just like, please don't pair me against Tron again. I hate playing against Tron. It's like there's this hammer hanging over my head every single turn. Like, are they gonna Tron me? And that's why we played the anti-Sobble first. Because this is a hammer matchup. They likely have no interaction, and now I get 2 redraws with my Snoop. Although Wooded Foothills would have given me another one, but now I have 3 redraws. You gotta be born again to find Rhino's a good match. It's funny. No, he has a point. He has a point. If you can survive the early onslaught, and Sting Scourger Musician's Expert actually help a ton with that. Well, Sting Scourger specifically, because it'll deal with half of the Trampler, and then it's just 4 damage. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that big a deal. We're gonna shuffle this away because we have the matron to find. We have the matron to find the Boggart Harbinger. If we don't happen to get there, which is maybe a reason to have played this fetch land instead of telling them I'm on Goblins straight away, but I don't know. I wasn't thinking that hard. I guess I could play this off the top in case there's like a Kiki. I guess same reasoning, because it's probably over next turn, and maybe I can end it this turn. Although I can't really end it this turn, but whatever. Worth seeing if there's a Kiki underneath at least. There isn't. So they're probably dead next turn. If they could have killed our Snoop, they would have, and they didn't. So, although maybe they're on one of those dispute lists. So, they just played that Inkmoth Nexus, or am I dead? Well, I can't be dead. They're dead. Aldra, you got it. I didn't even check what they searched up. It was Caldra, I think. So, take 5. Hammer has been a pretty solid matchup lately because they've moved towards this like mid-ranger plan. How's it going, Ito? Thank you for the follow. The thing is, Dragon Fodder, you're not wrong that it's good to have versus Caldra in general, but the people playing Caldra are generally not on these mid-rangey plans anymore. So you can just race their Caldra because they're not playing removal. Like, these hammer decks are just super greedy. So this is over. nothing fancy here. Nothing out of the ordinary. We would have won this with or without Sting Scourger in the deck, even though our deck is ostensibly better positioned against Cauldron, like we were just saying. Also, hey, Rope Burn. See you chucking those emotes in. Thank you. Guys, I know I don't talk about it a lot, but my girlfriend made these emotes and they're actually great. I'm very lucky that she's such a good artist in general. And you too can have them. Should we follow should we follow Joker's sideboard plan? It doesn't really out for Mog War Marshal. That is surprising. That's actually really surprising because it kind of blocks forever. So like it's good to draw, but he takes out all 3 ringleaders. And we need to cut 4 more cards. What does Joker cut? In 4 Thoughtseize, 3 Moon. So we're on 7 cards in. Out 4 Mogmortar, 3 Ringleader. I guess we'll try this. I don't like it, but whatever. Like, it's okay. It's certainly not bad. The axis of this matchup is combo. So, like, let's do it. I think I side out, like, 1. I side out, like, Battlecry Goblin. Thank you, Roper, and I love them too. They're like, you did such a good job. I used to have like a sideshow. I know I have them down here at the bottom of the screen, so at least they're always there. But I also, do you guys keep this hand, by the way? Clicked this earlier, maybe saw it. I've been thinking about making tokens for myself with this as the card back. It's a little messed up because you can see the top is not the same, but I wanted to have this at the corners. But yeah, it's 4 seasons. Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't like boarding as heavily as Joker's list is telling me to board, but it's one way to do it. But I'm thinking about making tokens with these card backs, but they're not going to come in time for Pittsburgh anyway, so this you can keep. You can definitely keep this. I don't think you need the 2 moons. We're just going to be on Vile, Snoop, and Sting Scourger, and the second moon is just redundant. So, this is a neat hand. This will buy us a ton of time to find the rest of the combo, I think. And we'll be able to moon them. That hand, to me, when I first saw it, was a Snap Mull. And then I thought to myself, they have no removal. As long as I have 1 fetch land, this hand is as good as most hands that have, you know, a bunch of other junk in them as well. Starting on the courtyard so that they don't necessarily know that my stuff is going to be uncounterable. I don't know if they're on mystical or what the hell's the name of the card? You know, the improvise, not stoic rebuttal, but it's better. Metallic rebuke. Violent Magus versus fetches. I mean, I don't see how that really helps you out. I mean, I guess, oh, I see what you're saying. Because when you activate Vile, they don't know if you're gonna put Magus in, and you just get them. In paper, oh man, that's probably responsible for so many judge calls. They're like, you activate Vile and they're like, okay, you put it in, and then they go in response after they see your Magus, and you're like, no. That's not how this works. You missed it. You just couldn't have, not only did you miss it, you couldn't have known. It's just a feels bad moment all around for you. I guess a learning moment. We're just gonna name Goblin. Ooh, yeah, this is awkward because we can't actually cast Magus until we find another land, but obviously that's the case anyway because it costs 3. So let's pretend it's not that big a deal. I mean, they can float stuff. They just got to do it before, before they say okay. Uh, it's a real interesting. That is a legacy line that I bet you maybe 1% of modern players even knows. Like, I say legacy line. It's like a legacy rule. Um, like when somebody activates their vial, you gotta watch out. Okay, so they can't equip this yet. They have a second hammer. They can actually uh play second hammer, activate Ink Moth with its own mana or with other mana, and then equip both to Pure Steel, and I'd have to chump or die. But if we draw a land after chumping, we could next turn Magus of the Moon and Sting Scourger, and then they wouldn't necessarily have 3 artifacts to equip. So it'll be cool. Sting into Ink Moth with the 1 hammer will be fun. Yeah. The Sting will be good regardless. If they're equipping all these hammers. I don't know if they have just the 1. It's like a... Especially since they just drew a card. Something I always mention when I tutor like a second munitions expert while I already have 1 in hand. It's like not... always dangerous to assume that just because you saw 1, there is only 1. There could be plenty more. But I think they would have slammed it by now if they had another hammer. Right? Like, how do you not attack for 22? Or maybe they don't see the line if they have it. I don't know. Quiet enough that I want to turn on music. This is taking long enough, but I feel like whenever I play my music, people don't stick around. And it's not even like my music is abrasive. Certainly better than a lot of people's as far as listening. All right, so they are targeting my Aether Vial, which I don't know. Kind of dumb, to be perfectly honest. Like, you have the option to, like, you may just be dead, and yet it's the perfect play. I don't know. Hypers. What are you doing? So what do I do here? At this point, it's incredibly tight. It's like telepathic play. What do I do here? Because they're gonna attack. They can't get it to 2 anyways. They can get it to 2. They could have gotten it to 2. They didn't, but they could have. Like, I'm going to be able to bounce something at sorcery speed. And what is that going to be? Actually, Sting Scourger does nothing here, which is pretty rough. I guess I'm just supposed to block and hope that I draw. Although I'm dead to land if I do that, because they could activate Ink Moth and then activate it again after equipping. So I'm dead to land. I kind of need to be able to play Magus next turn and not chump with it. I think that's my only hope. So I'm gonna block here. They have me dead. Yeah, not with this, but they do. I agree. Bad draw, bad draw. Hmm. I do need to not die, which means bouncing Pure Steel, Paladin. This sucks. Well, I think we've lost this one. Oh, we can't. Yeah. Fine. Make blue mana because we need to call upon the card draw gods. Kiki under the vial may be the only out. That's not the worst, but we do need to. The reason I was saying to Chris that we weren't just dead is we're taxing their mana so that I was thinking of bouncing the Colossus Hammer, but it's not how that works. This card actually only returns creatures. But yeah, activating Ink Moth twice is the way you give it flying again after you've equipped Colossus Hammer. So we have to not die to that. I think we're just dead no matter what, though, to be honest. We may have bought ourselves some time. But the plan was hit a land to cast Magus so that we no longer have to fear the Ink Moth Nexus. That was what we landed on. I think I said some complete nonsense out of my mouth during the turn while I was thinking of it, but it was all clicking in my head. I just don't think I was saying it right. It's like you go through it and you like check off. We knew the vial was on top. Probably. I don't see how that's. Oh yeah, because we needed a land. No, I think I completely forgot. I don't think I ever noticed that the vial was on top. I think I would have said it out loud. So I should have known probably, but I didn't. All right, so here's the courtyard. We are dead to Ink Moth Nexus still if we don't play this in name human. So here we go. Well, we can't do that. Red, and then this is whatever comes out. So we get there with this, and we're gonna take 12 here. If they So we have to draw exactly Harbinger. We're just dead. If they play this correctly, we're just dead. What they should do, well, we might just be dead anyway. But what they probably should do, I think, is just get Colossus Hammer and then stack it on the Paladin as opposed to spreading it out. But I guess I have to chump either way. So they should just spread it out. Then I play Snoop. I guess my hope is to draw 1-drop and then if I draw 1-drop, I can chump. Nah, but they have it spread out. So I need to draw like exactly land, have Mog War Marshal on top with the Snoop, and then we're just almost certainly dead. But there is like a whole set of runners that buy us exactly enough time if they don't see the double activate line, but we didn't get there. All right, on to game 3. I don't generally like the Magus plan versus them, but we're gonna stick with it. If that Magus was Mog War Marshal, we block, or we probably just die to the Ink Moth, to be honest, but I don't know if that appreciably changes that game anyway. We could bring in another Fury over this Chieftain. I think that would be fine. I think Fury would have been pretty decent there. So let's do that. Yes, I'd like to play first. We also killed a land. I know what you're referring to. Oh, the Urza Saga? Yeah. How's it going, Kalante? So this has interaction. but it doesn't have the combo. We kind of need the combo to win. We can stop a Cauldra. We can stop just about anything, actually. We can tutor for a Snoop, but that's like really slow. Hand is like aggressively mediocre. If I was playing for any kind of stakes, I don't think I would keep this hand. But it's not bad. I think I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, let's keep it. This is a risky keep for sure. Again, you want Snoops and I guess Moons if that's what we're doing here. But this buys so much time that I gotta think that we're gonna get there with this hand. Having a rough time with Goblins at your local LGS. Yeah, top 8 Goblins. They did it finally. But yeah, this is, you probably want combo in this matchup over a hand like this, but we're trying it out. People are doing what do you think is yeah, what do you think is your problem, Kalante? I don't know. It's one of those decks that you could just run really cold with. Like creature combo is, it's not just like what you're drawing, it's what they're drawing too, that you can just run cold. If people decide that, you know, a million Furies is the place to be. This is one of the absolute worst cases for us, that they have this Giver of Runes. If they untap Pure Steel Paladin, it's gonna be really annoying. Do I just bounce this? Man, Sting Scourge are not looking great here. I think maybe I just bounce this. Yeah, it's a tough game. I think I actually have to bounce this Giver of Runes. As dumb as that sounds. Players started brainstorming what decks are good. I mean, they're all that's the trick. They're all good against Goblins. Just a couple sideboard cards and you can really make it hard for us. Yeah, that's the idea, Oak Tree. We're gonna, I mean, this isn't gonna stick around unless we can do it in response to the Echo Trigger, which we may, depending on what they play here. Which is, you know what? That's probably the best play. Should have planned on that. But I really did want to get the Matron down to start digging for the combo. Like setting up for that. One of the reasons I probably should have mulliganed just for Snoop, but when I'm not playing the 8 combo pieces, I always am like, can't mulligan for your 3 of. Like, that's not really how you do it. That's why you play 4 ley lines, but you still do it that way. It's just me that has the hang up. All right, so Sigarda's Aid. They don't replay the thing. I'm assuming that this is going to be they're going to try and put a hammer in at instant speed on this, so I have to not play my Matron and just pass. Like, you don't not play the thing and play this instead if you don't just have me dead, right? So I'm expecting land, activate Ink Moth, go to combat, swing, put Sigarda's Aid in, then I'm gonna kill the Ink Moth Nexus. This is the game that we doomed ourselves to, though. Mono Red Prowess can be tough. Murktide's a real match. That's what I'll say. I don't think it's necessarily bad. But, are they gonna hit me with Ink Moth? This is rough now, because now they can just... Yeah, you just don't want to stick around trying to buy time versus this. You really do just have to race. They run instant speed protection. Occasionally, they'll run that blacksmith skill card. But the answer, I think, is no. I guess I can double munitions expert here. So we're like not just dead. Because I can target this, then in response, they give it protection, and then I kill it. So I guess I just have to pass again. How bad does that feel? Wait, can they actually just kill me? Activate Ink Moth. Go to attack. Flash this in. Do this. Yeah, right? But I guess I can block. Like, I guess land plus that, and I'm just like, I have to be able to kill it instead of just blocking. So I have to just pass. This is a crap game. I doomed myself to playing. Yeah, I doomed myself to playing this grindy, difficult to navigate game by not mulliganing even once for the combo. But this is a winnable hand. You can see that we have the interaction to stop what is one of their best draws. We're just kind of falling behind unless they go for it, you know? So this is a complicated enough sequence that maybe they didn't think it through the whole way. And all right, it looks like we're good to go. What do I do here? If I double munitions expert, they can just save their thing. Kind of need to draw land, otherwise I have to keep passing. Ink Moth can gain flying with the hammer equipped. Yeah, so once they put it in, I just have to pass again. I don't want to F6 through them putting a hammer on something, so... I don't like this game at all. I wish I would have mulliganed. We might win, though, but I just don't like it. I'm not even sure that I'm supposed to... Like, I need to draw land 1-drop. Well, I guess this'll do it. It could be Metallic Rebuke. I do just lose to Metallic Rebuke. But I don't think they're playing Metallic Rebuke. Oh, I can't play Munitions Expert once I do that. And they can just Ornithopter me. What do you do? What do you do? This is a rough one. I do not like the Mages of the Moon plan. I'm like, I'm all playing out of my element because I'm on plans that I'm like on somebody else's list and following a sideboard guide that I don't necessarily agree with. So like, I got myself into this really bad position. I can't play any of the cards in my hand. Like, I just can't do it. One of those fetches was supposed to be Swamp? Oh. Yeah, I guess if I'm playing Mages of the Moon, you're right about that. Although, pretty awkward usually, but yes, I could have a Swamp in play here. Now I'm just screwed, right? They would definitely go for it. I have to do this. Because they can activate 2 different Ink Moth Nexuses and still do it. So now we're just racing to combo with this Blood Moon in play. Next turn we're gonna Matron to find. We're gonna take whatever damage they put at us here, and we're gonna use Matron to find Snoop. They have nothing apparently. We've just been playing scared for no reason. So there's Snoop. We can't Snoop plus Expert, but we do have to just Snoop. And then have to hope that we can chump with this Magus so that... Okay, maybe we're just... We have Skirk Prospector still in the deck, right? Okay. This is going to be one crazy combo win that we kind of lucked out on. I don't know about easy, but they may actually have the thing we were afraid of. Oh, no. Pithing Needle actually screws us here. You think they drew that off the top? Yeah, they name correctly as well. And I can't even flash in. Ugh, this is rough. All right. Not going to be a crazy combo win. We can't activate Snoop. There's the Harbinger that we can't even play. We did bring in a Trash Master, which I suppose we're going to go find right now. I'm going to have to discard the hand size. I guess I'll discard one of my unplayables. Vial on top I do not like. Yeah, I know combo's out. I'm aware. We're in a really bad spot. This is unplayable, but the second Munitions Expert may never come out of our hand. I think I'm just going to discard the Munitions Expert, because Kiki copying a Sling Gang is like a way to win a game. This game becomes real goofy when you realize they never had anything. Yes, that's true. If they had anything, they would have almost certainly just started attacking by now, right? There you go. Now, maybe they had one hammer and they're just waiting for the actual unstoppable double hammer on my Ornithopter kill, which is not the dumbest thing ever. It makes sense. We can't stop this. We kind of played badly. And as soon as we got the Trash Master, which would stop this, they pulled the trigger, which does imply that they kind of had it. But I guess they don't have it. They just wanted to do 10 before it was too late. Okay. I think I play Skirk off the top here, don't I? I guess it doesn't really matter. No, because there could be a Mog War Marshal underneath. And we also want to draw towards basic mountain. Or basic swamp. So let's do that. So we can only sack 3 total goblins here. And we also cannot combo. I guess I'm supposed to attack with my 3/3 Snoop. Maybe my 2/2? I would trade. Another target creature you control gains protection from the colorless. So, like, this dies no matter what. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to attack with both of these. I kind of do want black mana, and I don't care about Inkmoth Nexus. So let's do this. We can't really do anything fancy with this Skirk Prospector, by the way. We're hoping to save it perfectly on. I may even sack the Snoop before the Prospector. This is our only Prospector, and we have plenty of Snoops. And the Snoops are, like, not super relevant. They draw cards, which is really good. We have 7 cards in hand. 2 of them are Matrons. Man, a Magus of the Moon that was a Goblin? Damn. I really want that. Just because I could sacrifice it right now, not for any other reason. Not to give it +1/+1 or anything like that. We have to be very careful here. Giver of Runes gives protection to the creature. So we have to kill the Colossus Hammer. And not the creature. And there's no reason to keep the Snoop, right? Other than it attacks real good. But who cares? Yeah. Yeah, Oak Tree. That is like a definitely a late game boon, I guess you could say. That's like one of our win conditions for sure is Kiki Jiki. Basically on any board, but Kiki Jiki and something like Kling Gang or Trash Master. You can make a copy of the Trash Master and get 2 lords and swing and then kill the other stuff. It's pretty good. So like I said, sometimes they play Blacksmith skill. So this is why we blocked. Target permanent. Wait, what? Okay, that lagged so much. They targeted they targeted I can play like you did it right if you want. They targeted their planes by accident. Which would I assume they were trying to keep their Oh, that's true. I offered to play it as if they did it correctly, but they astutely pointed out that their hammer is going to go to the graveyard anyway. So there's no way to fix it with just Magic Online. I was going to sack the Skirk Prospector to kill the hammer. Just to do it, you know what I mean? To try and get us back to a situation that is close. But yeah, that kind of sucks for them. So here comes, I guess, Kiki Jiki, right? I mean, we could Matron plus Mog War Marshal. It's actually probably almost definitely a better play. Let's do that. I guess you could Pashalik Mons too. Because if you do Pashalik Mons, then well, we could get Pashalik Mons next turn. Oh, we sided out all our Mog War Marshals. Oh my god, whose sideboard is this? Ugh. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this sideboard plan. That sucks. Okay, so what do I do here? I could just grab a Snoop to sack. Because I want to be able to sack 2 things and we'll play 2 things. All right, we'll do that. So 1, 2. We can attack here. We can attack here. Would gladly trade. Blacksmith skill actually bucks me there. If they still had it, because they could give +2/+2 to this Memnite and try to kill my Trash Master. I guess it doesn't fuck me. I would just kill stuff. If I sack it, it'll be the same as you've done it to kill their hammer at least. That's what I said, and then they said no. But I was like in the middle of it, so I didn't stop to think if I was right or not. But yeah, you're right. I should have done it. I should have done it. Because it would have turned out the same. I offered to do it. Like, I actually wrote in the chat, like, I'll do it. And they're like, nah, don't do it, because this hammer will still die. And I said, okay, I guess, you're right. But the hammer would have died anyway. They wouldn't have been able to protect it. So I should have done it. I think they were really dejected after that. And I should have just... I could have fixed it. And I knew I could have fixed it. I told them that. Whatever. I don't think that sideboard plan is good against hammer. I gotta be honest. I know we won, but like... I may just felt bad the whole time. Now, I could have fetched a swamp. Which I should have done. Good luck. Good luck. I can't even... It's supposed to be lasty, right? Not salty. But good luck. I hope you do well. My brain is functioning very slowly today. I'm having all sorts of cognitive malfunctions. All in a row. So what's your vote? People who are watching and chatting. Actually, all you guys who are watching and chatting, you're here all the time, whether I have music or not. All the extra people who won't answer my question when I ask it anyway. Question is, do you prefer non-music or music? And I think at this point, I have enough data points to say that people just don't like when you play music. Either the balance is not correct, or they don't like the choice of music, or they wanted to play their own music, or whatever it is. Maybe I should just stick with the... But anyway, if this is your first time here, we're Black Red Goblin streamers in general. Well, we're Goblin streamers. I don't want to say Black Red, because I used to play Jund. I just think it's not good enough right now. But we're playing the list from the challenge this weekend, which turns out to be a list from SCG Dallas 2 or 3 weekends ago. It's got some cards I don't like, but then again, who am I? I've never top-8ed a tournament, and I am bad at Magic, although my opponent is also bad at Magic. This is the one time you can say that, unless somebody comes up with another spelling of bad at Magic that they then make their Magic Online name. But yeah, I'm just taking it for a spin and using all of the knowledge that is not my own today. We're following Joker. Jokers are wild. We're following his sideboard plan vaguely. Because the sideboard we're actually running is a little bit different because we're using somebody else's list. I went over like kind of how you want to make a sideboard guide earlier, but I think at the beginning of next stream I'm going to start typing out a sideboard guide with my own list so that not so you guys have it, so you can see how to make a guide for yourself and how to think about sideboarding in general. Obviously, we're demonstrating it here as we're like adapting somebody else's sideboard guide to our own. But there's like a lot you can learn from hearing how people sideboard. All right, so this is mono black bullshit, and this is one of those matchups where Magus of the Moon is worse than Blood Moon. Well, actually, is it? Yeah, it is. Because the only way they could kill our Blood Moon is Invoke Despair, which they will be able to cast, but we're just gonna obviously go for the combo here. If we can. So the only way they can kill Blood Moon is Invoke Despair, but with Magus of the Moon, they can actually just Fatal Push it. Like, there's so many ways they can kill it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We're going to be playing one of these fetch lands to try and draw or put a Boggart Harbinger on top. We'll grab a basic mountain. Oh, man, you can tell this is not my list because I accidentally don't have all the sick basic mountains. Oh, well. No Blood Moon's main, so it doesn't really matter. I think we're going to be fine. I think we win. I guess maybe I should attack first. They could have a fatal push here, but I'm assuming that they would have done that already when I cracked my fetch, because I could have played whatever goblin I found on top off the top. So they don't have a fatal push, which means they could have a fatal push, but they would have been dead basically. Next turn, at best, they can have 3 mana. Their deck doesn't really function until they get to like 4-ish mana. So if they don't have a removal spell, they are dead. We are straight up informing them of that. And if they do have a removal spell now with this second Snoop, we get to Expert plus Snoop next turn, which will be good regardless. You can pressure Karns. We can get the Chieftain. What's better on this next turn? Battlecry Goblin or Chieftain? I said we would think about it. I think in a vacuum, Battlecry Goblin is worse? Well, Chieftain, you don't get to use all your mana. But here, I could have played both Snoop and Battlecry Goblin in the same turn, even if I'm not gonna. I think the reason I probably should have played Snoop before playing my land. That was a mistake, a small mistake. Because this fetch land shuffling away the Aether Vial would probably be pretty sick right now. But I think I knew the Aether Vial was on top and just didn't register it. I have not been... This has been so small that I just haven't been thinking about it. So I'm going to make it larger. Face-to-face games to Kevin. I wonder who's on mobile. Is it Oak Tree? In Edmonton a couple weeks ago, that Goblins also top-8ed. Yeah, I think that might have been... not Mr. Mardu. Who's been saying it in the Discord that they top-8ed a 2K? Is it Dragon Fodder? I think it's been Dragon Fodder that talked about it. He was here earlier. He'll tell us if it's him. Okay, so this is almost definitely them searching up Cabal Coffers and then trying to do something wild to us. We are going to play this Boggart Harbinger and try to win the game. How does that sound? We'll make blue mana to assert our dominance and convince them that they shouldn't try to fuck with us. They inevitably will. They can crack this. Okay, okay. No answers yet. Cheeky cheeky, how does that sound? I guess I should pass the turn, since all their mana is untapped. And just do it at their upkeep. Or if they try to fuck with my Snoop. So there's no harm in waiting for the upkeep, right? Because there's nothing we would instead do. We'll see if they react. They crack Expedition Map. We expected that. They crack this fetch. Alright. Gonna do it at their upkeep. Okay, so normally I don't do this, but I actually got screwed not doing it earlier this week, and we're still 1-0. So, once you successfully make a token, you should start targeting that token instead. Because some people just okay through the first token for no reason. And then at upkeep of your next turn, you can still do it if they decide to interact. Okay, so anyway. Mages of the Moon, I did say that there was some downside to it in this matchup, but there's also some upside in that it does attack, right? And Blood Moon doesn't. Now, do we need to attack? Probably not, but it is a thing. Sting Scourge are probably pretty bad in this matchup. Trashmaster, I guess, can kill some of their sideboard cards, but I don't know how relevant that is. Like, maybe it's relevant. I don't know which sideboard card. I guess it kills Golos if they're on Golos, which could be useful. These Fanatics are probably pretty bad on the draw. There's a different guy. Dragonfodder said he top 8'd a 40-person 2K. The face-to-face opens are like 200 players. Damn. Yeah, Goblins has just been really well positioned lately, is what it comes down to. We've been in like 5 top 8s of real paper tournaments last couple weeks. I guess you could cut Mog War Marshals. In fact, maybe I'm supposed to, because I'm not. A good sacrifice. Let's do this. Just like slightly more pressure. I don't think you want Furies because there's not a lot to kill. Like, yes, you can target Karns with them, but the stuff they play is in general going to be really big. Yes, they can if they play Torpor Orb. Most people haven't been playing Torpor Orb. But we also don't. It's like sort of a pipe dream to think that you can play around and beat a Torpor Orb. Like, something Spike says in a lot of his deck building rants. Everything Spike says is a rant, no matter how rational. I think we mulligan this. Kind of just sucks. Like, it has the Magus and the fetch, but we're on the draw, and these experts are pretty bad. This is better. This is much better. We'll save the Matron. I think I actually would rather have Mog War Marshal here than this Fanatic. And I'm going to keep all the lands. Anyway, people always suggest, like, maybe you should play one island to play against Blood Moon, or basically put one basic in your deck to be good against Blood Moon. And, you know, even in decks with fetch lands and things like that, one basic is not really enough to appreciably change your matchup sometimes against Blood Moon, right? It's a safety blanket. It is it makes you feel better, but it doesn't necessarily change a lot. Like, yes, I am bringing in this thing, but I don't really expect to be able to beat most ways that they're going to get to Torpor Orb. But sometimes you just draw it off the top. And they don't have Thoughtseize. That's the second important part. They don't have Thoughtseize. Because here, if they were playing many Torpor Orbs, Matron never comes down before you can tutor up Trashmaster. And even drawing it naturally, it just gets Thoughtseize. Oh, man. I assume they're going to take the Trashmaster, but perhaps not. Nope. They are not playing Torpor Orb is what we just learned, or they don't see its value, I guess. But here comes Mog War Marshal. Since we played the Secluded Courtyard, I feel like it's important to mention something I learned the hard way. If this is the first time you're seeing me play these two cards together, Secluded Courtyard and Mog War Marshal, you can't pay the echo of Mog War Marshal with Secluded Courtyard, because although it pays for abilities, that's the shorthand we say, it only pays for activated abilities, and this is a trigger. Echo. Echo is an ability, not I guess, what would you call it? A drawback? Ability. Yes, I will pay. Kinda wishing I hadn't paid, but it is what it is. I mean, this Trashmaster and this Mog War Marshal are actually going to put in a lot of damage. They have to kick a Blood Chief's Thirst or revolt a Fatal Push to kill the Trashmaster, so now they're not revolting a Fatal Push, so there's the Blood Chief's Thirst that they could have kicked. They know about Trash Master. Well, maybe they're just hoping that I can't cast it. They're tapped out. Doesn't matter what order I do this in. Here I would probably be searching Battlecry Goblin if I had it and hoping to draw a land. But I guess I could just get Chieftain and pressure that way. And I don't need to draw land. It's just more vulnerable. So we'll grab Chieftain. I don't think there are better. I mean, they have no Urborg, Cabal Coffers, anything. So I'm guessing they're on this Karn plan. And I would guess that it's Karn plus Ensnaring Bridge or Walking Ballista that they're going to go for. But they're just waiting for these Profane Tutors to come off of the spend. They don't even have a fourth land. There's the Snoop. I think I still play Chieftain. Although I could just draw Harbinger and it's over. Does putting them to 8 change anything? I beat Invoke Despair. And they can just tutor an answer to the Snoop. So let's put this into play. I'm gonna put them low. I'm not sure that this is the play. I haven't played with Chieftain in a while. But they can't Fatal Push it. The only thing they can hit is this Mog War Marshal. We're gonna try to put him to 6. It looks like they're gonna hit the Mog War Marshal. And they could have hit the Snoop. So good on us for not playing the Snoop. I don't know what they've got over there. Because they've played this very weirdly. They kept a hand that was like really, really slow. I think land plus Trash Master is just lethal. 3, 6, 9. And then, yeah. 13 damage is what we would be able to put out if nothing changed. And we drew a land for this Trash Master. I guess 2, 4, 6. We would put them to 1 with just the Snoop as well. So they kick the Bloodchief's Thirst on the Chieftain, which is semi-expected, I guess. Now, next turn, they're going to have like a bajillion mana, right? So if they have 1,000,000 mana next turn, because they're going to grab Cabal Coffers, what do I expect from them? I think I just play Snoop. I don't think I bother with the Trash Master putting them to 6, right? Like 6 is not dead. I still have to attack again, and I could save the Trash Master. So let's do that, and we hold up Munitions Expert. Red. Sling Gang, not bad. Sling Gang makes a lot of plays lethal here. And probably plays around a lot of stuff too. They may tutor up a Damnation here. We'll see. Tutoring up Damnation, they would go to 1 basically, and we would kill them. Yep. So here, we're going to sacrifice our whole board. Sacrifice this. At end step, we flash in Munitions Expert. We use it to attack for 1. We have to hit no because it's going to automatically target. I messed that up last week because I didn't expect it to automatically target. And so I okayed what I thought I was okaying through the next step, and it just killed itself. Anyway, we're 2-0. Decent matchups you definitely want to see. I am going to pee, and then we'll be right back. Not in that order. I'm going to be right back because I'm going to pee. I can't do that on camera. I will be back in just a minute. So See you on the other side of this. I'm gonna play ads too because you should have ad blocker by now, and I want people who come into the stream to not get the pre-roll ads. Poll for 5-0, yeah. You guys can just put nasty Mario text to speech while I'm away. Enjoy. Whoops. Ads aren't over, but we're back. I hope you have ad block. I also should have run 2 of ads instead of 3. I apologize. But I already had water. Drink. So I didn't need anything. So how are you guys doing? You excited to see if I 5-0 with a deck list that is 90% my own and I'll never get credit for making it, for even tuning a list at all because I never 5-0 with my own list? It's not true. I definitely have. I also hope that one of you out there, because I know I was the first to do it. I know I was the first to play Yori on Goblins, Mardu Yori on Goblins. I hope one of you plays it. Actually, it's not, I wasn't actually the first to do it. Now I'm saying it. Jay Brumbaugh did it at my suggestion in one of his tournaments. I don't like his list. He actually played 4 color, so I guess I'm the first to play Mardu. I think you keep this in the dark. It's hard. I mean, Vile is really good. Mog Fanatic is decent. Maybe you just mulligan this. It's like not exciting. All right, we'll mulligan this. There's better hands. This hand is actually better. I think you just throw back the swamp. It's very much the same. It's okay versus Ragavan, I agree. That's why I wanted to keep it, but you know, in leagues you never know. And something I read. It's not like it was in an article. I think it was Joker who said it. Joker was saying in the dark he basically looks for combo in the dark. He doesn't like keep these iffy mediocre hands, but there's a difference between looking for combo on 6 and 5. I think you do keep this instead of going to 5. Maybe I don't put back a land? I think I do put back a land, though, because I have Mogwar Marshal and Skirk. Yeah. I don't want to have to, you know, sack the Mogwar Marshal to Skirk Prospector or anything like that, but I will. Because we're on the play, I think I'm going to play Skirk first. If I was on the draw... Well, they're mulling to 5, by the way. Vile hands are very tempting, I agree. But it wasn't like I had a matron. It was just like I could draw so many things, you know? But the fact that this has a matron and enough mana, it's like, yeah, let's keep it. This is better. I would say this is better. How much better? I don't know. But it's definitely at least slightly better. We are going to grab a black-red source. And yeah, I'm going to lead on Skirk. Because I don't think that they're going to kill this Skirk. Even if it's Ragavan. They would wait. Okay. So it is a Tron deck. We don't know if it's Eldrazi Tron. The white border would actually suggest Eldrazi Tron. I'll throw that one out there. How's that for a psychological read? And I am going to get a Snoop. Ooh, I'm definitely going to get a Snoop into play. Let's just do it. I guess, do I want to get... I can Mogwar Marshal, sack 2 of them, put Snoop in. And that stores 1 mana, basically. But then next turn, I would need to Matron. See, the thing is, to play Matron and Harbinger in 1 turn, I need 6 mana, and I need to never tap out of this Blood Crypt. So if I play Mogwar Marshal next turn without having drawn another land, I can't actually do that, right? So I'm definitely going to play Snoop this turn, but Mogwar Marshal, I think it makes sense to play it, because even if I draw the land, which would prevent me from having to tap out, I think that also works with this line. I don't think I checked it exactly, but I'm pretty sure. Do this so we don't accidentally OK through. And we're not drawing the land. Do I play this Fanatic? No. I am glad you agree. Not Eldrazi Tron. My psych skills are rusty. Been a long time since I've never taken any. Actually, I took a couple psychology classes, but not a real one. Okay. So we can definitely Matron here and put them dead next turn. And they can't Tron us next turn. So that is just almost definitely the correct play. However, we're going to go to attacks first so that we get the damage in with this. So we get the damage in with our token. Meaningless because we're going to combo to win this game. But it is the technically correct play. How's it going, Heretic? Okay. So we put a Matron in. Say yes. Search up Boggart Harbinger. Gang Lieutenant is on top. Which, pretty solid draw in general, although we're kind of struggling on lands. Any thoughts on Pioneer? Do you mean Pioneer Goblins or the format in general? Because I do have thoughts on Pioneer, but there are unfortunately not any Pioneer Goblins lists that I like. There are some mono red lists I like. And that I actually bought and will be playing. But none that I like. Or no goblins lists that I like. So here we have infinite mana and infinite damage and infinite life. And we will show it to our opponent. So the best looking Pioneer Goblins list I saw was like a Coco list with Grumgully. I think there are better ones to be made, but I haven't seen anybody find them, and I haven't dedicated the time because it's very difficult to brew a deck in a format in general, but to brew a deck in a format that you don't know is tough, so I'm going to stick with mono red until I learn. But my read on the Pioneer format is that the defining features of the format, it doesn't matter if they have a Warping Whale at this point, I don't think, right? Because if I make enough of these goblins, Iki copies Boggart Harbinger and puts like Matron on top, and then yeah, like Kiki comes off the top, and then oh, I guess I don't have enough mana to do things like that. Yeah, well, they're not going to play Warping Whale. That's just not how this is going. What kind of psycho would wait until I made 30 goblins to Warping Whale? Not this one, thankfully. Put another Sling Gang Lieutenant on top. They can exile. Yep. You're correct. But I can play Kiki off the top, and then I thought I had a Matron because I played one a minute ago, but I don't. I killed it. But you could theoretically play around Warping Well by going to your end step and then doing the whole let me untap thing, but then you don't play around other things. But the Greentron in general doesn't, can I interest you in a Death Bellow Warcry deck? Isn't Death Bellow the Minotaur? Is that what you're talking about? I guess so. I mean, I'll take a look at it. But my thoughts on Pioneer, I was about to say, you don't really want Sting Scourger, but it's not terrible. I think this is what we want. Actually, probably better. And maybe this is bad. Who we keep? I don't think you want another Sting Scourger. That's just... This is fine. Winota is disgusting. It is like kind of the litmus test for that format. Turn 3, 2 Winota triggers is like really hard to beat. And like most of the decks people are playing are just not set up to deal with it. They kind of tell themselves, I'm playing Thoughtseize, that'll be enough. Winota won't kill me, and it's just like not really true. So they're like just crossing their fingers and hoping that they have a bad draw. And then other than Winota, the best deck is going to be the Twiddlestorm deck, the Lotus Field Twiddle deck. So the decks are kind of set up to play against that because they have Thoughtseize, but it's tough to interact with, right? So in general, that deck is going to be good. So they're also just kind of crossing their fingers on that front. The only deck that is at all set up to be both of them is Blue-White Control and Mono Red. And the Blue-White Control lists are like... They look like they were built by somebody who's never played Pioneer and just said, I want to play Blue-White Control. So they put 4 Essence Scatters and 4 Negates in, more or less. Like, that's what's going on. They have Dovin's Veto and then Essence Scatters. I think it's actual Essence Scatter, too. So, like, not really... This is a bad hand. Not an exciting Blue-White list. It looks a lot like modern blue-white because it has the big Teferis, and then you realize, like, actually it doesn't have any of the good parts of blue-white control, and it's playing just kind of nonsense. So you're, again, just kind of crossing your fingers that you don't draw the awful side of your deck, the wrong half of your deck. And they all kind of have that problem, except for Mono Red, Winota, and Twiddle. Twiddle excuse me. Winota sort of has the wrong half of your deck problem, but the wrong half of your deck is going to consist of, like, a bunch of mana creatures that can then cast anything you draw off the top. So even your worst hands are pretty good. That's my read of Pioneer at the moment. And the only reason Mono Red can even hang is because it kills Winota's creatures pretty easily. And I don't even think most of the Mono Red lists are built to kill Winota. They just could be, if that makes sense. So we're gonna play this Snoop because if they have, like, a Karn that they're gonna play, we want them to interact with our Snoop, and we have a second. So instead of just waiting for Aether Vial to kick in to play either Snoop. But yeah, that's the way I see the Pioneer format. But the big giant Sir Mix-a-Lot level butt on that is there's a ton of room to brew, and while Winota is the gross oh, I should have Mog Fanatic in response. Whoops. Is the gross turn 3 speed limit that is better than almost every other deck. There's probably other decks out there undiscovered that are at least as good, and we just haven't seen them yet. I guess I'm gonna kill this Karn. I guess I'm not gonna kill this Karn, am I? We may just be dead. I don't even think Blood Moon off the top here does anything. We should have a 1/1 Fanatic in play. We should be able to take this guy to 1, but it's not. I was too busy talking about a format that I barely play. I've tried it though. I have the decks and stuff. I guess we just play Snoop again, and even if they kill our hovel, we can theoretically win off the top. So again, there should be a Fanatic in play, and this Karn should be at 1. So if they tutor up something that stops us, we lose, and it's my fault. They should unban Winota in Historic. I don't care at all about Historic. Someone top-8ed twice. There were 3 different top-8s since April 8th. Which is in the last 10 days. We went over it at the beginning of stream, but oh, did I exit out? MTG top 8. If you go to Modern, go to Goblins. There might have been 4 actually, but this is the list that I got linked. Or well, no. Bamzing, the Sunday challenge, somebody top-8ed, and it was with virtually this list with a changed sideboard, and then it turns out that the list has its roots from this this top 8 in Dallas with a 250 player Modern tournament, and there's actually 2 Goblins in this top 8. One on a more, I would call it, traditional list, and one on the list with Sting Scourger main, which is a little bit weird. We're playing that one right now with a different sideboard. We're playing the sideboard from the Modern Challenge. All right, what have you got? We kind of threw this game away by not viling in Mog Fanatic. I gotta play tighter, but we may still just steal a win. Because if they're... Okay. We were just dead anyway. They just happened to get Dismember. And now... I don't think we can win. because we know what's on top and we don't like it. And yeah, let's just concede. Let's go to the next game. I don't think we need to do anything weird. Play versus draw. I said we were playing this, and we were also just looking at Joker's sideboard guide today. I mean, we know how to play against Tron. We don't have Thoughtseize in our board, but obviously Thoughtseize would be good against them. We brought in all of the cards that matter, namely the Maguses and the Trash Master, which is only vaguely relevant. And yeah, we're just gonna run it back for game 3. But yeah, a lot of people have been having a lot of success with Goblins, but people are more prepared than ever, probably because of that. Goblins is a deck that, well, I think a good player would look at Goblins and just be like, I don't need to sideboard for that. That's just going to be like a game we play against each other. And maybe a good player would choose not to play combo. Or maybe they would move to combo. But no, a good player would have confidence that they could beat people in a mid-range game, right? Like, that's the idea. So you just play a mid-range deck of your choosing and get ready to play against Goblins and know how the combo works. I always thought that, man, seeing people walk around with a beanie like that, I never had it, but like my hair is actually weighing down and giving it that shape. That's why it looks like that. We have to mulligan to, and here, by the way, you notice we got dismembered. So the fact that we're on Magus of the Moon instead of Blood Moon may come back to bite us here, because it may aid us, but it may also hurt us, because any hand that they keep with Dismember to stop our combo is also going to be good against our prison plan of not taxing their mulligan decisions at all. Which is why I like Blood Moons better in general, but we're playing Magus today. Yes, they are both Mog Fanatic lists. And they both had 3 Boggart Harbingers main, which I don't like either. Because they were expecting a mid-range meta. I believe that Hierarch is better in a combo meta, so it makes sense that they're not on Hierarch. Yes, we'd like to play first. Terrible hand. Another terrible hand. We're going to 5, guys. Burgers. This is basically the same hand as the first one, but we traded a land for a Mog Fanatic. This time, I'm going to trade another land for, I don't know. I shouldn't call it. I shouldn't say it. What's the worst hand I could think of? But Sling Gang Lieutenant? We're just going to have the same hand plus a Sling Gang Lieutenant. I do think that, I don't know. We go back and forth in the Discord all the time with like what's good, what's bad about Hierarch. I don't think that Hierarch adds anything to any matchup where you have any trouble. I think the combo matchups are fine as is. Like, Hierarch definitely helps in that you turn 2 Blood Moon easier, but you don't need a turn 2 Blood Moon, do you? I mean, I'm saying that I'm playing a matchup where I would want a turn 2, but oh my god, I'm going to 4. Okay, guys. This is it. This is how you lose against Tron. You just get 4 unplayable hands. Jiki Jiki has been in every hand so far, by the way. Jiki Jiki and some card that doesn't do it. None of these would have helped any of those hands. So I think we sideboarded correct for what we've got. But the original list that Raging Machismo, who top-8ed the challenge on Sunday, the list that he took from, actually played Obsidian Charmaw, but Raging Machismo replaced these with Chalices instead. We have to mull this. I mean, you can play this hand. We're gonna. We have to put 3 cards on the bottom. This is going on the bottom. Do we keep Vile? I don't think we can keep Vile. I think we're just on a 3 fetch land hand. Turn 3 Moon is going to have to be good enough. Play the Foothills first. Fetch a Blood Crypt. They play a Chromatic Star and a Mine. Grab a Blood Crypt. Put it into play tapped. Harbinger, that's half the combo. Not the half that we wanted when we wanted it, too. We would have loved to snoop there instead. But Harbinger will be able to put something on top of our deck, and we'll better know what that is after resolving this Blood Moon. Let's see what they grab with this Stirrings. If it's a Tron piece, we can be sure they'll put it into play immediately. It's a Chromatic Sphere. Forest? Is Sanctum of Ugin, so only 1 Tron piece in their hand, or their payoff is a 8-drop plus, and so they don't feel bad sequencing it this way. They play that Chromatic Sphere out. This is the best printing of Chromatic Sphere in case you... Not any kind of date. I suppose I don't want to draw Basic Swamp, do I? Doesn't really matter. We're getting Basic Swamp out here no matter what. Grab the Basic Swamp. So now we'll learn if Boseiju was saving them or not. Ooh. Do I just Magus? If I Magus... I think I just Magus. This was a reason not to fetch Basic Swamp, this Snoop. They may have a Dismember in their hand, and then Magus is better to play. So let's just do that. We saw Dismember last game. Why not? Obviously, Magus is good against a Tron deck. It's not... We're talking about ordering here. If they have Boseiju, it doesn't matter. So, like... I guess Boseiju can hit our Basic Swamp. Oh, that would fuck us. Oh, don't do that. There's no way they would do that, though, right? Would they Boseiju my Basic Swamp? I had to get Basic Swamp here regardless. So it's not like I could have avoided a Boseiju on a Basic Swamp. Are you supposed to play 2 Basic Swamps? No. There's no way. There is no possible way. Please. It can't target basics? Oh, that's good. Can it target... It can target lands, just not basics? That's fantastic. Oh, man. That feels good. Okay, so they grabbed the tower anyway. Wait, they didn't grab a tower. They just had tower? What's Expedition Map? Yeah, so they revealed Expedition Map. They just already had tower. Okay. Maybe. Well, we're going to find out real quick if they have Dismember, right? Because they'll play it here. Boseiju reads non-basic lands. That's good. There was a long time where I thought Teferi could bounce. Can't remember what it was. Other planeswalkers? I don't know. I was like worried about playing something into a Teferi that didn't matter. So now there's like no way they don't dismember here if they have it. And I think we played properly against the dismember, just like period. Yeah, and here it comes. So they're about to Ugin us, and we're just gonna cry. If this is why you play Blood Moon instead of Magus of the Moon. I just hate losing a game like this. You know what I mean? What? Arn the Great Creator? That can't be correct. Walking Ballista on X equals 2. Okay. They have to kill it now. They know I have another one, but they're gonna hit me next turn. They don't know I have a Harbinger though. Thank you. You can actually, just for the future, Rock, you can do this. Well, you can type a longer version of the name and do that. So next turn, they have 4 cards in hand. They can Tron us here. They can 7 us. I think we lose. And believe it or not, I'm gonna blame the Magus. I mean, we mulled to 4, but mulling to 4 and finding Blood Moon feels like it should win. You know what I mean? In a lot of games, and it would definitely have won this game because notice they have all creature removal. Now maybe they have Boseiju in their hand. Definitely have green mana. This is just Wormcoil Engine? Do they just not have a payoff? The best they can do now is Wormcoil Engine. Alright, they're dead. But as much as I was complaining, this little sequence here, why Tron is generally a good matchup, because even when they Tron you, sometimes it's just Wormcoil Engine and you don't care. So, lucked out. We're 3-0. Very close 3-0 here. Against what I would consider all favorable matchups. It's been really close. We beat Blue-White Hammer. We beat Mono Black Tron, which is Urborg. So Coffers Tron. I don't know what you want to call it. I cannot believe that they haven't beaten yet, but whatever. But they said nice. I'm gonna say thank you. I wonder if there's any salt sprinkled on top of that nice. So we need a Sling Gang or a Mog Fanatic on top. Making me do it, so I bet you there's some salt sprinkled on top of that. They didn't use one of those creature removals on Magus, your other Snoot wouldn't have stuck. Yeah, but I think we would have won that game, right? They wouldn't have been casting anything relevant, right? Like, they can put a Walking Ballista for 2 in. Maybe you're right, though. I mean, they had Tron mana, though, right? So, like, this could have easily been an Ugin instead, or a Karn, or anything that killed us. But they wouldn't have been able to get Tron mana if we had Blood Moon. Although maybe they just had Boseiju. I think they were salty. They didn't like that they had 2 pieces of interaction and still lost, which does feel bad, but like it happens. It happens. But yeah, maybe we did win that one because of Mages of the Moon, and I'm just completely wrong. I can't wait to play Apex Legends. I I've just been busy and stuff, but I've been watching so much of it. Just got clip of it from Ray brings somebody and then goes through them and kills the next. I did one time ever. Not on purpose, didn't know that there was two people there. It's just I just shot somebody and it was one of the luckiest headshots, but and the other person behind them happened to be very low. They were on catwalk, so they couldn't even not be lying. D Frank. This is like the ultimate mid-range hand. This is like what old school Goblins players are like, yes, put it in my veins. Mog War Marshal into Goblin Chieftain. That's exactly what I want. And I think it's just bad. I don't think I want to play this hand. I think this hand is like extremely not doing anything. Like you can't actually interact. You can just stonewall. That's mulligan. Yeah, I don't think that's a good hand. I'm gonna keep this one though. This one is sick. Do I put back the ringleader? I mean, the vial is gonna make me cast it. So I want to keep. I want to keep expert. I want to keep fanatic because Aether Vial on turn 2 is good, but Hog War Marshal with the expert is also good, but this is like 2 actual removal spells. I think I have to throw back the Mog War Marshal here. I know that's gonna make old school Goblin players mad as well. But I think this is correct because I think we're buying time. Is this just Tron? This is Amulet Titan. Everything we've done is wrong. That last hand was also not good, but we don't really have a key. I guess we could kill a no, we can't. I was gonna say I guess we could kill a Dryad with this. We can kill an Azusa because of what I kept, but that's it. And is this an Azusa? Looks like it. It's a Dryad. And then they play the bounce land. They pick up the fort. Nope, they don't even play the bounce land. They play Slayer Stronghold. Well, this is another one where mulling to Blood Moons is going to be relevant. I guess I'm just going to Sting Scourger this Dryad. I think that's what I do here. I get a Blood Crypt to do it. And then with the Echo trigger, maybe I can kill that Dryad if they play it again. So we'll see. Comes into play tapped. I assume they're going to play the same Dryad, and then we pick up probably the forest and not the bounce land, right? You can pick up the stronghold. No, you probably need the stronghold in play. I don't know what they're going to pick up here. Earn Timber Symbiosis. All right. So they play nothing, which means that they've got the one bounce land in hand. So now, in response to this Echo trigger. Oh, I stacked them wrong. But I stacked them wrong because I could play the Boggart Harbinger here if I draw a land. Oops. Well, I can still kill this thing, but we're going to do it. Wasn't even thinking about stack order. That dies 2. Take the vial up to 2. There's the land to punish me. I don't know if I would have played the Harbinger or not. I'm definitely not going to upkeep it unless they like... I don't know what situation I would upkeep it, actually. If I had a Trashmaster main, I might upkeep it, but I need to draw a land. So we're hoping to draw a land here. Okay, Matron will do. We have to play one of these. We have to beat them to 6 mana. So we're just going to play Matron for Snoop, I guess. Oh, wait. I should just Matron and Snoop right now. Whoops, I almost made a mistake. They may just Titan us here, but because they don't have the Dryad, because they don't have the Dryad, it shouldn't kill us. They should be able to deal 16 to us. Oh, actually, you can deal 20. Because you can double vigilance, but you need 2 amulets for that. I think they can only deal 16 to us, even if they have a Titan in hand. I think. I could be wrong. And maybe 18, and I'll regret attacking with this munitions expert, but we'll live and learn. All right, so they grab a Zusa. I think everything I said goes out the window now that it's a Zusa, but why did they get a Zusa instead of Dryad? I don't understand. I must be dead, right? We're gonna find out. There's 6. Oh, it's Cultivator Colossus. Okay. So they're gonna make a ton of mana here. And hope to draw a Titan. But they tapped this. And they don't have any more land drops, I don't think. Although, they can just play... This is pretty crazy. I've never seen this line before. We are almost certainly dead here, right? Gotta imagine. I can't concede because if they pass the turn, they are dead. But they give Cultivator haste, and it's like not enough. So like they had to have drawn a Titan. They can't even give Cultivator haste right now. So there's that. They need to be able to make red mana. So... But they also can't untap the Slayer's Stronghold, so... And I think they've used all their land drops. And they don't have enough mountains to bolt me. But I'm sure that I've missed something. But what is it that I've missed? Red from Primetime drop, but not for Stronghold. They can't untap it. That gives double strike. I think they use both their lands to play the Azusa. So they need to play Dryad and then find bounce land. But like they would have already played Dryad if they had it. So I'm pretty sure we're safe. Wait. Oh, they got an extra land drop. So now what? Now, if they have another Boros Garrison, they give this double strike. But I block. I don't even have to block. Yeah, no, I saw they played Explore, and that's how they got their second land drop. But what I'm saying is, I still don't think it's enough. They can't even give it. Double strike? So I just take it? Yeah, that was a long convoluted line. They don't play that many red bounce lands, apparently. They transmute for what? Well, they transmute for Summoner's Pact, but what are they doing? Thing Amulet of Vigor so that next turn they just have 1,000,000 damage. Very close game where we interacted. They didn't interact. We bought just enough time. I don't believe that anybody is playing Subtlety in prime time yet. We'll make white mana so we don't look like a threat. Put Kiki Jiki on top. Now, are they going to be salty because we quote unquote made them do it even though they didn't kill us? Nope. Concede. No Dismember. Yeah, they don't play main deck Dismember. All right, let's take a look at Joker's sideboard plan. We know what it is already, but we're just going to look at it. It's bring in your blood moons, you fool. Ooh, Joker brings in Chalice? I'm going to do it. I don't like it, but I'm going to do it. So out 3 Ringleader, 3 Fanatic, 4 Mogwar Marshal, 1 Expert. Apparently valuing the experts, but not the things that give them the goblin count to do it. But we'll take out Ringleader. We'll take out... We don't want to take out a Fanatic because Joker was on 3. We'll take out 1 Expert, a couple Mogwar Marshals. Well, all of them but 1. And we'll bring in our 4 Chalices instead of our 3. And many Mages of the Moons as we have. And we'll call it there, right? Actually, in these other matchups, we've been bringing in Furies instead. How's it going, Lord Muxus? What did you miss? We're 3-0 right now. And we've been using somebody else's list and Joker's sideboard guide just to do it. I guess we could take out all of the Fanatics and the Mogwar Marshals to bring in these Furies, which are like have been sort of standing in for Thoughtseize. Because wait, we were gonna say the Fanatic and what else? 3 Fanatic, 4 Mogwar Marshal, 1 Expert. We already... Oh, the last Mogwar Marshal. Okay, we'll try this out. This kills Azusa's and whatever's that they play. Maybe the Sting Scourger is actually worse than so many other things, but I don't know. I don't think that you need the Thoughtseizes for this matchup basically at all. This hand, I mean, it kills any Dryads that they play and eventually combos, but is that good enough? I don't think so. I think we can mulligan this hand. This hand is much better. Throw back this. We have a moon. We don't get to play the moon, so be it, but I think you are supposed to Chalice on 0 actually to stop Summoner's Pact, and especially on the draw. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna wait on fetching our basic swamp. Because not even sure we're gonna get to play this Magus. But we'd like to. But we need to be able to cast Snoop. I guess we don't have to cast Snoop because of the Vial. But now they can't Summoner's Pact. So Chalice not doing 0 work here. And we'll hold this not only because we want to draw a land, but because of what I said. We don't know if we're tutoring for the swamp yet. I mean, we will, but So see, this Teleria West is coming out because they can't transmute for anything relevant with it. Now here's a Dryad that we're gonna timestamp out of the world soon. Although they will still be able to make any color they want. These will still be mountains actually as well. For Valakut, but I guess that's not. All right, we're just gonna pass like this. Land would be great. Give me a land. Another chalice. Not what you want to see. So we could chalice on one to stop a double amulet thing from going down. We have really no other plays. I mean, obviously I would like to draw a land, but I think I need to do something this turn. I don't know if Chalice on one really does anything, though, to be honest. Maybe just keep saving the fetch and not play this Chalice out. If we had drawn a land, we'd be in very good shape here, but as it stands, we're going to have to tick up our vial, I think, to 3. Hey, Azusa we can kill. We're going to tick up our vial to 3, and then I guess we're going to put in Magus, right? Okay, Auntie's Hovel changes a little bit. I think I'm just going to put in Magus, but do I vial it in? Or do I vial in the Matron? I think, like, obviously the other option is to play Matron, grab Snoop, play Snoop, or play Matron, grab Snoop, kill Azusa, but I think the Summoner's Pact actually screwed them not having the Summoner's Pact. So maybe I'm supposed to just put Snoop in play here. Can't be right, though. To not play Magus of the Moon? Just can't be. And then we get to respond to them playing a bounce land, which is the only way that they get to 6 mana. We don't get to respond to double basic, but I don't think they have double basic. Lock their lands down for sure. I have a feeling that this is Dismember. And I'm wondering if I should vial in the Magus. That's what I'm saying. So, like, if I play this Matron, just main, grab Snoop, then vial in Matron in response to a bounce land, is that better? Or vial in Magus in response to a bounce land. Is that better than just raw dogging it here? You know what I mean? Either way, I'm fetching this basic swamp. Let me do that before I forget. Maybe reveal Matron. I think I am supposed to respond. Because, like I'm saying, the only thing that gets us is double basic, and I don't think they have double basic. Then Dismember gets me anyways. They don't know that I'm going to Blood Moon them, and they may tap in a weird, foolish way that, like, let's say gets rid of forests or something like that. Like, we just don't know. We just don't know, dude. Yeah, they do have 3 land drops, but like I'm saying, it's cards in hand and the trigger on bounce lands that we are like. So now, see, here's a trigger, and now I'm gonna file it in because if they have another basic, I can't respond to that, and they will be able to cast Titan even if they don't have a Dismember. That was what we were doing. So I'm going to hit no on this because I want to be able to vial that in. Kiki Jiki on top. How fantastic. Snoop coming into play. We're just not going to do anything here. Now a bounce land just comes into play untapped, right? Because it's a mountain. Take 2. Another Dryad. Yeah, it's Dryad. Wow. So Joker, I didn't realize how good Chalice was against Titan, because I just never thought about it. But I mean, it's definitely really good. We're gonna use our vial because of subtlety. I've been gotten by subtlety before. Not that I think they have subtlety. I just think it's a good habit to get into of putting your Boggart Harbinger into play as uninteractively as possible. All right, we're going for 5-0. I'm gonna pee and then I'll be right back. I'm gonna run 1 minute of ads because it's not gonna take me that long. Thank you, Jazix. That means so much to me. What I always wanted my dad to say to me, way to go, champ. So we'll be right back. Get ad block. Tell me if that ad block that I linked you last time you were here works. Of course, yeah, that's not an argument, Dragon Fodder. Yes, it does nothing when they have the Titan in hand, but it's like saying Thoughtseize does nothing when they draw it off the top, and it's true, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't bring it in. You know what I mean? So we're going for 5-0. I'm gonna play 1 minute of ads. I will be right back. I'll see you. Do I have a Sokenzan main? I don't, but I also purchased Sokenzans because they're like $2. So let's see. I ain't done nothing in the games matters and shit. Yeah. All right. Be right back. I keep saying it, but for real now. All right, we're back. Yeah, Grok. I just did the last stream. I went over it at the beginning. You basically don't want to play 22 lands. That's the only conclusion from last stream's like black red mana base thing, because a lot of people have disagreements on what you should play when you build your black red mana base. They argue about secluded courtyard versus what's the thing, Blightstep Pathway or the 10th fetch land or whatever it is. The summary is the only thing that you really need to consider, because our mana is so good, is if your lands come into play tapped and your life total. The rest of it, you're gonna have perfect mana as far as casting your spells as long as you want it, and your life total comes into play when you're trying to play sideboard cards that are like black or double black or something like that, right? But you want to be on 23 or 24 lands. You don't want to be on 25 lands because the ideal hand is usually like a 2-lander that draws the third, and you stop getting as many of those when you play 5 lands, you get just like more actual 3 land hands. And like you also, when you play 23 lands, this is why I go with 24. When you play 23 lands, you get more 2-landers that you get more 2-landers than 3-landers, but you, those times when it's like this hand doesn't function unless I draw 3 lands, but if I do draw the 3rd land, it's really good. You will actually see the 3rd land more often and make that decision easier. So I go with 24, especially playing a more mid-rangey style, but 23 and 24 is like, it's like a 1% difference. Well, we haven't played with Pyre in a long time here, but it's still a decent card. The question is whether it's fast enough. Like, is a turn 4 combo that it enables fast enough in the matchups where combo matters, and does it survive in the mid-range matchups? In the dark, against Put for 5-0, what do we do? They have great avatar. I should be able to blow this up, but I can't. This hand is pretty bad. We're on the play, so we don't need to keep something like this. I think we're going to mulligan. This hand is the tiniest bit better. But do you keep this on the play? Let's see if they mulligan. If they mulligan, I'm throwing this one back. I'd love to hear your thoughts. They mulliganed. So as soon as I'm done stretching, I'm going to throw this one back. It's just, it's not very good. I mean, this will do 1 damage maybe, and then you don't really have the 4th land, and Pashlik Mons with this paltry number of goblins is not great. So we're going to mulligan. This is a fantastic hand. This is what you're looking for. So, I guess we don't have any black cards that we just need to cast. This does the job without revealing any information. So we're definitely throwing back Hovel. And then we definitely need this Matron. We don't need basic Mountain, right? But ever. But we might as well put it in the, yeah, we'll just throw it back. And we'll lead on Secluded Courtyard, because we don't want them to know, if they're a control deck, that we're going to be uncounterable for the rest of the game. If there was a reason to keep that basic Mountain, I know Dragon Fodder doesn't think there is. Please let me know. I don't think there is. This is Yawgmoth? This is Yawgmoth. Alright, well this is a great hand versus Yawgmoth. Yawgmoth plays little to no interaction other than Yawgmoth itself. So, look at that Thoughtseize bug. Anti-Salvo coming right back. I think I'm supposed to just play Snoop and give myself the out. Especially since we can just Matron for a replacement Snoop. And when I say give myself the out, I mean give myself the out of drawing drawing a Harbinger or having it be on top. So yeah, they have Grist, I'm aware. They don't play a lot of it. And here a Grist would cost them their Ignoble, and we would still get to play another Matron, and then they couldn't do Grist again. So they have Yawgmoth and then 2 or 3 Grists. Most of them don't play 4 from what I've learned. Although I don't make a habit of looking at people's deck lists, I don't think people are playing 4 Grist even. So having 3 mana removal spells and 4 mana removal spells doesn't count, I think, as having interaction for people's turn 3 combo, really. That's my opinion. But you are definitely supposed to just race to get your combo out. It prevents them from setting up their board when they have to use Grist, which makes the plan that you'd be enacting if you weren't just racing to combo, it enacts that one as like a side effect. So almost always better. And I mean that, like, even when you like construct the hands against each other as opposed to just drawing. It's like almost always better to just put your combo pieces out there. Triple green. Eldritch Evolution for Grist? For Grist? Yep. And they can't do it. So we can attack this Grist. Down to 2. Or we can matron it down to 1. Let's see. What do we do? So if I play this matron and I don't grab a Harbinger and I grab instead a munitions expert and I use this, well, I would attack Grist first. They probably won't block because they need it, right? And then I just munitions expert down the Grist. I think that's the play. Because I probably can't. The chances that they have no other bullshit in their hand is low. So they block. Which means I think I have to get munitions expert now. Because the chances that they have nothing in their hand is low. So we are going to grab it. You could also just get another Snoop. I suppose I just get another Snoop? I don't think so. I do think getting munitions expert is better. Because then you can, like, definitely, well, not definitely, almost definitely attack the Grist down. Yeah. Okay. Hey. Hey. Exactly what I wanted. Not really, but it's close. It means I don't have to worry about not having tutored the Snoop. It does mean I probably won't tick Vial up. Because I want to be able to play whatever I get off the top. And I do want to get this Snoop into play. So they're pretty close to actually comboing here. Alright, nothing on top. That sucks. Attack Grist. We're going to play this Vial and then just pass. They, I think they can combo us here. No, they need more mana, but Yawgmoth and then one other persist creature, so we're like really close to being comboed, like Wall of Roots, Young Wolf, but they need to get Yawgmoth into play, so like Wall of Roots and then Eldritch Evolution it into a Yawgmoth. Okay, so Grist is almost definitely gonna... Ooh, Grist doesn't attack the Snoops because they know they can't get away with it. Fine. And we will tick up. And we'll tick up. Chieftain is interesting. Chieftain means I can swing at this Grist and my Snoops will not die. But it also means that I can't reshuffle with fetch land. But I think that I just want to play Chieftain. I think it's just worth a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the deck. And just do it. So now we can swing. They block with Geralf's Messenger. Even if they double block, our Snoop won't die on the other one. And Grist almost certainly dies. And if they block Chieftain, whatever. Geralf's Messenger is a good card. You would fetch before combat? No. There's nothing they can do. Why give them the information? We can't do anything with the information, but it helps them play differently. Are you saying if there's Kiki on top? I'm not playing two of out. I would be shuffling to look for like harbingers and stuff, but yeah, I understand that I combo if Kiki's on top, but like I don't think that is the correct play. Let's see what they've got. They're gonna draw a ton here. Oh, am I just dead? They're gonna draw a lot. I guess I'm just dead because we have the same life total. Ah, damn. Ugh. The second grist made me think that we were gonna play a long game. Let's see what we could have done. Let's see if Kiki was on top. Didn't think it was all or nothing, so I didn't play to all of it. I was playing on a longer game plan, not punished. So who cares? But damn, they get you out of nowhere. That's why you got to race to the combo. So definitely bringing in Furies. I don't know. I don't think anything else is Scourger. Like a Yogg that they put out. I don't think Leyline is actually that good, but maybe you bring in like 2 of them. You're bringing in 2, why not 3? Does stop their combo. I don't want to mulligan to them. These are too good to take out. I think Sting Scourger is just bad. It's not like you're tutoring for it. But maybe the first Sting Scourger is better than Mog War Marshal. I don't know. I'm playing this like Amulet, but with ringleaders still. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe we are here. Let's look at what Joker says. This is what we've been doing all night. Forethought sees 4 Leyline. Okay. I mean, this makes sense as far as, I mean, it's very close to what we said as far as out. Interesting that he takes the Skirk out. Yeah, we're bringing in everything we can. He doesn't like Skirk. Why doesn't he like Skirk? I mean, it's not bringing it in, it's leaving it in. Over Mog War Marshal, because it is in the main. The question is, why doesn't he like Skirk? I think Skirk plus Pashlik is too good to take Skirk out. So, like, I'm not bringing in both Sting Scourgers, but am I bringing in... Wait, did he say take out all your ringleaders? No way. 2 ringleaders. Have to do. We took out Chieftain. Alright, we'll keep Chieftain. Take out another ringleader. I guess we'll take out this Mog War Marshal and we'll test if Sting Scourger's good. I have 2 because I spoke to the guy who top-8ed the challenge, and he said this is not keepable, unfortunately. He said this is keepable. I guess we throw back the expert here. Yeah. I think Fnatic is better than expert here because obviously the mana cost, but we're hoping to turn 3 combo. He said that the Crater Maker was bad, and then he would have played another Sting Scourger just to play against Murktide. I think his opinion is obviously a little bit colored because the only match he lost in the Swiss was 2 Murktide. So, good draw. I could have attacked first for the 1 damage. All right, they're dead. We're gonna go to game 3. That 1 damage would have mattered last game. I actually don't think it would have. But I mean, we were kind of all in on the combo there. And it's I guess a dismember really screws with us, but probably not even enough. Do we want to change anything players draw? I don't think so. I think Scourger gets better on the draw. Because it's like more of a desperate play. But Furies should be enough. That is the beauty of the deck. Do we keep this one, guys? What do you think? Going for 5-0. This is your 7. I was gonna say your 7 lander, but it's the opposite of that. Now this one, there's an argument. I don't think you can keep this one either. I don't think you can keep this one either because Top8ed 3 lands. I'm glad to know that the delay is long enough that you didn't mean this hand. I don't think you can keep this one because it's very close. If I had 2 lands, I would keep it. But the fact that I can't tick up my Vial and Matron and then play Snoop is like really bad. But on the other hand, if I draw a Snoop or a land, then that's not a problem. But you are only turn 4ing. So what are all right, this is for the 5-0. You guys want to know how you make these decisions? Arbitrarily is the answer. You would have kept there. So we have 53 cards. Oops, that's 23. We have 53 cards. So there are 4 Snoops and then 23 other lands. Actually only 22 that count. So 26 total draws. And we have how many draws to hit it? 1. We have to draw it right away. No, we have 2 draws to hit it. And we just need 1 of them. It's a literal coin flip. No, it's better than a coin flip. 75% chance. It's better than a coin flip by a lot. And if we hit, we just win. I guess I'm going to keep this. I didn't know it was going to be 75% chance. Okay. Well, keeping it. What am I throwing back? I guess the Matron? Because we only need 1 Matron if we're going to... I guess we need 2. Do you throw back the Expert? I guess you throw back the Expert. Yeah, I'm sold on the statistics. I'm just like... It's a tough one. I guess you throw back the Expert. Matron is like the slowest card. You may never be able to cast it, right? But if we're going to combo, we need it. We don't need it, but... Alright, I'm throwing back the Expert. I would never have guessed that 75% was the answer to that question. But it is. And so, alright, we hit. Play Goblin. So now, the best draw is probably either a Snoop or another land. We're going to Fury next turn. Grist. Grist goes up to 4. I think we just Fury and 1/1/2. I think that's the answer. I am playing 3 Furies. I think we pitch Pashalik here. Kind of wishing I had that munitions expert. No, I think you just plus here, right? The question is if I care about this insect token enough. I think I do. So we are hoping to get there here. Am I playing 2 Furies from this hand? Looks like it. you hope to not have to, but yes. Oh no, that's so good. Oh, and they didn't. Okay. Well, now I'm definitely killing this thing. Snoop, please. Expert? So I can expert and kill a 1/1. So I could expert kill the young wolf and then Fury kill Outland Liberator and young wolf, leave the grist. Or I could munitions expert the grist, Fury pitching matron, kill Liberator and grist. And then I can still get comboed. But they can still combo me with a young wolf with it because they need a second undying creature anyway. So tagging the young wolf doesn't actually do anything. I think I am supposed to kill the grist just outright. Even though I died because I did that last game, I do think that's correct here. So let's do it. Because I have to kill this Liberator. I can't let them kill my Vial if I'm going to win. But it's looking bad for us. And it should be noted that this is the matchup that knocked our champion from this weekend out of the top 8 as well. It would be very fitting for us to die here. But I am obviously hoping that that doesn't happen. So next turn, we're going to have to main phase Matron into Snoop. There's their second undying creature that made tagging the young wolf irrelevant anyway. We will tick up. We draw the land at the worst possible time, but it is a redraw with Snoop. So, yeah, we'll not complain about it entirely. Hit okay. Hit yes. Grab Snoop. Play Snoop. Land on top. Gonna shuffle that away at end step. I don't think there's anything on... Oh, I guess there is something on top. But I can do it in response. I guess like a Mog Fanatic. Oh no, I probably want to pull... Yeah, I would want to pull Mog Fanatics and Skirks off the top, but... I don't know. They have a Yawgmoth anyway. It doesn't matter. Think we're dead to this? We're not like actual dead to this, but the chances of us coming back from this are like almost 0. Let's see if we got punished for not playing, for not shuffling. I don't think the one Mog Fanatic or whatever doesn't matter in the face of this Yawgmoth. Although it does now if I ping this, because then... No, it just doesn't matter. right? Like, even if they weren't doing this at instant speed, what I'm saying is if we had it in play, I just want to see what's on top, and then I'm going to concede. Because we're, well, I guess if there's a 4-drop on top, we're not just dead, but we're pretty damn close. So I guess we'll just wait until the next turn. So here they can sack the insect token to reset their undying creatures and then continue their drawing cards and paying life loop. They're just going to convoke out a 1-drop. I don't know what that could be. So that's just infinite card draw, which is good. There's no doubt about that. I just want to see what's on top. But that's going to do it for us. Anyway, I'm gonna start I'm about to end the stream, and I'm gonna look for people to raid with our healthy amount of viewers today. If this is your first time here, this is what we do all the time. So if you like it, drop a follow. This isn't my list. This is the list from the challenge. Oh, we're gonna raid Evan because I like Evan. I'm literally just seeing what's on top. I know I'm dead. It's not a question as if we can win. Damn, it was coming next. All right. They got us. Good game, good game. If this is your first time here, this is what we do all the time. Consider following. I was hoping for the 5-0 as well. I don't play very often. We're gonna crack these chests too. Consider following so you can get notifications when I go live. If you're watching on YouTube, come check us out on Twitch so you can hang out in the chat like everybody was today. Thank you for everybody participating in the chat. Yeah, they had the nuts, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't even really thinking of it. But if you like what you see, this is my usual list. We're gonna adjust it for next stream. I probably am done with this Hidetsugu for now. We're gonna just play a ton of Chalice of the Voids instead. Oh my god, this is so annoying. Yeah, there you go. I may play the Thoughtseize and just mirror Joker, but probably going up to a bunch of Chalices again. We probably have room for these Blood Moons. I like the rest of the list. I'm gonna try and find room for a 4th Mog War Marshal as well. Let's see. Thank you again. So yeah, this is what we do all the time. Let's hope we got a Ragavan, or what is it, a Kappa Cannoneer? Ooh boy, Scalding Tarn, 2 tickets. Teferi seems like a hit. DJ High Tech doesn't seem like a hit. All right, everybody's gone. They're probably in Evan's channel by now. Have a good night, everybody. See you next time.